In this class, we are going to understand about two-dimensional arrays. This is the second type of arrays that we are going to understand. Already we have understood what single dimensional arrays. Now we are going to discuss about what two-dimensional arrays. So how we are going to work with two-dimensional arrays? Let us understand now. Okay. So let us take what purpose these arrays are used? These arrays are used to store values in rows and columns so that matrices problems can be solved. Okay. So what is the syntax? Let us say the syntax is data type. You have to give here array name, and you have to open the flower base two times. You have to open. One is for rows. Next second one is what? Columns. Next new of type of rows and columns. Okay. Here you have to give the number of rows and number of columns of the matrix. Or you can also give, first of all, you have to create the reference variable of the array. So like this array reference variable you create it. Then after you allocate the memory, like this array name is equal to new of type of rows and columns. Okay. Let us take an example and we will understand how it will work. Okay. So let me show you the example. Let us say that. Suppose I create an array. Let's say integer a array, like this I am writing a array is equal to, I write new of integer of, I can say 2 rows and what 2 columns. This is what I have given, assume. Okay. Now what happens here it is, let us say what happens here it is, right. Now what a is a reference variable created, like this a is a reference variable created, right. To this reference variable, now the new is going to create the memory of 2 rows and 2 columns. Like this it is going to create the memory like 2 rows and 2 columns. Now this row is 0 and 1. This is also 0 and 1. Okay. Index number always starts with what? 0, 1. Again here column numbers also starts with what? 0 and 1. And assume that the address of this particular first element or address is, assume 101. This 101 address will be assigned here pointing to this particular matrix. Okay. So like this what happens is 2 by 2 matrix memory is created, and that is assigned to what? A array, and this is how it is created. Okay. Now how you are going to store the values into this array? You can store the values like this. So a of first square brackets you have to give the row number 0 row, then 0 column is equal to 10. Means a pointing to 0 row 0 column is stored with what? 10. Okay. How to identify this element? This element is a of 0 of 1. This element is what? A of 1 of 0. This element is what? A of 1 of 1. This element. Okay. So like this we can store the values. A of 0th row 1 column is stored with what? 20. So 0 of 1 stored with what? 20. Then I can write a of 1 of 0 is equal to 30. Means a of 1 of 0 is stored with what? 30. Then I write a of 1 of 1 is equal to 40. Therefore a of 1 of 1 is stored with what? 40. This is how can we store the values into the two-dimensional arrays. Okay. Now the same program that I am going to write, let us understand this one. Okay. Let me give you example. This is what the example I am giving. Okay, the example. Let me give you, execute the program and show you. Okay. So here integer a array, is equal to new of integer of 2 rows and what? 2 columns. Okay. This is what happens. Now a of 0 is equal to 10, and a of 0 of 1 is equal to 20. Then a of 1 of 0 is equal to 0, sorry, this is 0 is equal to, I say 30. Okay. A of 1 is equal to how much? 40. This is. Now I am going to print on the monitor sys out. I am going to print. What is that is? So I can say that values of a matrix, right? A matrix I am printing. Let us see how can we print here. Sys out. First of all a of 0 of 0. Okay. First element I am printing. Then plus, beside that I am going to put a comma. Here I am going to print again a of 0 of 1. Let me say that. Okay. This is what I am printing. Again I have to put a plus here, right? Plus. And before the, after comma, I am going to give a space. Similarly, I print the second row also. Second row I am printing, this is what, 1 of 0 and 1 of 1, 1 of 1. Okay, so this is, let me see, this is 0 of 0, it is going to print what, 10. Okay, then a of 0 of 1, it is going to print is what, 20. Like that, it is going to print the second row elements here. Okay, so let me show you the execution. Is it okay? Right, this is a simple one. But how you print the two dimension array using for loop? How to print the two dimension arrays using for loop? That is what now I am going to explain. So print matrix. Okay, matrix using for loop. Okay, for loop. How can you print by using for loop? Okay, let me show you here example. Let's say that now to print the two dimension arrays. Okay, two dimension arrays. Okay, to print okay 2D array, we have to use okay nested loops. Okay, right. How to use nested loop? Let me say that. First for loop, this is the first for loop, and this is what, second for loop. Okay, so already we have seen in the patterns case, in the case of patterns, this is a understand this is a pattern. Okay, understand like a pattern programs already I have explained. So how many rows are there? 2 rows. How many columns are there? 2 columns. Very simple. 2 rows, 2 columns. So first for loop always represent rows and second for loop represents columns. Okay, so here I am going to write I is equal to 0. I is less than, okay, rows. How many rows are there? You can give the row number. Row number is what? 2. Okay, so therefore 2. Okay, then I plus plus. And here how to give the columns? J is equal to 0 and j is less than, okay, j is less than column. How many columns are there? 2 columns. Therefore it is what? 2 columns and j plus plus. Okay, but I am getting an array because I have to write integer I comma j. 2 variables I have to create it. Okay, so I represents row number, j represents column number. So let me show you the output here. Sys out. Let me show you the output, the column numbers and row number. See, I am going to print like this column number and row number. How? See, in the brackets I am going to print first of all I. Okay, then I print a comma. Okay, then I am going to print what? J. Then after I am going to close the brackets. Okay, let me show you this one very clearly how it is going to run this particular for loop. Okay, see, I am going to give the space. Okay, and here sys out I am going to print the new line. Okay, so in this particular for loop just I am showing, please, okay, the row number comma column number. Okay, this row index as well as the column index I am showing. Okay, so let me run here. See, 0 of 0, 0 of 1, 1 of 0, 1 of 1. Okay, right. So what happens here? It is now in this position I have to print the array. So how can I print? Sys out a of ith row, I represents row number, jth column. Okay, see, first one is row number, second one is column, right? Therefore what is the row number variable is I. So therefore I written here row position. What the column variable is j. Therefore I written j. A of I of j means here it is going to print a of 0 of 0, here it will 10, and here it is going to print a of 0 of 1 20. So similarly here it will print a of 1 of 0 30, and here it is going to print a of 1 of 1 40. Okay, so this particular 0 of 0 10, 0 of 1 20, 1 of 0 30, 1 of 1 40. Like this it is going to print. See, now I have commented this one. Now this a, I and j I am using in the array. Therefore now you can see the values it is printing. Okay, but sorry to say that this particular slash n you should not give, so that it will print on the same line. So let me run the program once again. See, 10 20 30 40, there is no space you are getting. No, so to get a space what you need to do, please? So I can give a comma and space, so that you will get your comma. Otherwise I will give a space, so that you will get a space. Okay, see, space. See, 10 20 30 40. Is it okay? Right. So like this we can use for loops to print the two-dimensional array. So this is what happens with it. Similarly, now I am going to say that, okay, so sys out, okay, I am giving some slash n, so that I will get in the next line. Some clearly I am getting, okay, right. Similarly, how can you print by using for each loop? Okay, how you print by using for each loop? Okay, for each loop, how you are going to use? Okay, now print a matrix using for each loop. Okay, for each loop, how we are going to do? Okay, so this is how you are going for integer x array. Okay, so x array colon a. So what is happening here? What is x? X is an array. Okay, so let me tell you this one practically. Let me show you this one. So did I copy this one? Yes, I have copied, right. Let me show you this one. So how you are going to use for each loop to print this particular thing? Okay, so let me say that for each integer x array colon a I have written. What's the meaning of this one? Okay, first row by row it is going to assign. What the first row is? This particular thing is the first row. What is that is? This particular first row will be assigned. Okay, so what is assigned here? 10 comma 20 is assigned. Okay, enters here. Now I am going to print for each integer. Okay, integer. Suppose I can say value colon x. From this particular x array, one value after the other means first of all 10 will be assigned, next 20 will be assigned. So I am going to print SOP. I can give you something value like this. Okay, so after printing the all values present in the x array, okay, after this loop, end of the loop, again what happens? Next row will be assigned. What next row is? 30 and 40. This 30 and 40 will be assigned to what? X array. That is what 30 and 40 will be assigned. Okay, and enters here. Again this x array is going to be printed by using for each loop. This is going to print again all the values present in the x array will be assigned to the value and it will print. Okay, so like this it is going to work. So first of all, first row, what the first row is, please? First row, what the first row is? Let's say this is an array. Assume that first row value, this particular value will be assigned to the x array. Now this x array I print here by using another for loop, integer value colon, okay, x array. Now I am going to print the value sysout, the value I am going to print, and if you want I can give some space also here. And after every completion of row I have to move the cursor to the next line. Okay, and here also I give some space. Here also I'll give you some space here, right? Or I write here it is slash n using for each loop. Okay, for each loop. Okay, for each loop we are printing, right? Now I run the program. You can say that using for each loop you got same 10, 20, 30, 40. You are getting on the next line because I am using here println, but here println you remove it and give here. Understood? Same output. So you can write by using normal for loop, okay, or you can use by using for each loop also you can write it. Is it okay? Right? So this is how can we print the array. So normally how can you print this particular thing? Let me say that sysout, okay, sysout print using arrays class. Arrays class how can we use? Okay, so simply we can print here sysout. I can print what? Arrays. Okay, arrays import, please. Import is arrays present in what? Java.util class. See, now it is imported. Okay, here it is imported. Okay, arrays dot, I can say that deep. Okay, deep toString, like this we have to give deep toString of a. That's it. So to print the 2-dimensional arrays by using arrays class, you can use what? Deep toString of a array. Now this is the output that you observe carefully how it is going to print, like this, printing using arrays class. So the 2-dimensional array is printed like this. So generally if you want to see the output of an array, what is an array? So it is recommended to use this statement. Okay, if you want to do any calculations on each and every element of this particular array, then you have to use either this method or this method. But general printing purpose, if you want to see what are the values present in the 2-dimensional array, you can use deep toString. Okay, as for a single dimensional array, just toString you will be using, but when we come to the 2-dimensional array, you have to use deep toString to see the output. Okay, so this is a 2-dimensional arrays. Let me paste here the program. So that is what program, example program. This is what okay, let us say that program. This is the program, right? So this is what happens with it. Now I am going to explain about what initialization of two-dimensional arrays. Okay, how we are going to initialize two-dimensional arrays. Okay, initialization of okay, that is 2D arrays, two-dimensional arrays. That is what the meaning of that particular thing. Okay, so how we are going to initialize the two-dimensional array similar to the single dimensional array. Directly I am giving the syntax in this case. Now syntax is, you can give type, okay, type array name, okay, open the flower bases like this, okay, now is equal to open the flower base, okay, and here close the flower base. Here it is starting and ending, and in this case you have to give first row value. Okay, so this is first row value. I can also give in this next line also. Better we write like this. Okay, this is what value 1 comma value 2 comma, okay, any number of values. First row completed. Second row again you have to give. Let me copy paste here. Okay, Control C, and here I am going to give second row. This is second row values. Like this you can give any number of rows. Any number of rows you can give. So these values stores into what? Row 0. These values are going to store into what? Row 1. Okay, row 1. Like this it is going to be initialization of arrays. Okay, so let us see the program, the same program. Instead of giving the values here, now I am going to give the values. No need to give the new. Okay, so see, I open a flower base, right, put a semicolon. In this flower bases, now you give each row values. First row 10, 20, okay, 10, 20, two-dimensional, that's it. Okay, second one is what? 30 comma 40, right? This is a semicolon, that's it. First row is stored with 10, 20, second row is stored with 30, 40. So you will get the same like this. A array is what? Two-dimensional array. Okay, so same andi. Okay, this is 10, 20 goes into first row, then 30, 40 stores into what? Second row. Like this, two rows, and what? Each column contains two columns. Each row contains two columns. Okay, two rows, two columns matrix. It will be created like this and stored with the values and assigned to what? A array like this. And remaining thing is okay, same. So this is what I don't want to use all this particular thing. Using for each loop not required. If you want, you can also go with this one. See, I run the program, same output you will get. There is no difference. Okay. Sir, what if I can if there is more than one place, 30 and what 40? So this particular thing is now changing. Then how, sir? Right? So let me tell you here. Here what you need to do here, it is you have to give a dot length. A dot length will give you number of rows present in the A array. Okay. Then how you will get the columns? Columns means A of ith row dot length we have to give. Length will give. So this is what row length it will give you. This is two-dimensional arrays, rows, number of rows it will give. I repeat once again. A dot length will give you number of rows. Okay. Then A of I dot length means if I is equal to 0, then 0 row length means 3 elements it will give. Like this, each row length it will give. Okay. Whereas remaining things not required. Only in this case only you have to change this particular thing. So this is going to print okay, whatever the size of the array it is going to print. Okay. So this is how it is going to work, right? Control A, Control C. This is what I can say that two-dimensional arrays initialization. Okay, right?